Welcome to On the Spectrum. I'm your host, Terri Matthews, and this is the show where we inform you, entertain you, and yes, educate you about all things autism. We like to call it prescription TV. Joining us today is our in-house expert, Kim McGinley, who's going to be teaching us all about a do-it-yourself project, something called Tangram?
Tangrams for teens.
So not like cookie grams, not anything with food. I see
no.
a cookie tray. You know I'm all about food.
I'm sorry, no cookies.
Okay.
No cookies.
So tell me, what is this that we have on the counter, and how do we actually use Tangram, and for who is it for?
Okay, well, Tangrams have been around for a really long time. They are actually an ancient Chinese puzzle.
Ancient Chinese secret.
Yes, they're an ancient Chinese puzzle where, in essence, what was done is you take a square and it's divided into 7 different shapes that are different sizes, mostly triangles and squares and a parallelogram.
What?
A parallelogram.
That word is way too big for me.
Go back to geometry. Go back to geometry.
I think I skipped geometry, but that's for a whole nother show.
Well, don't worry, you're going to find out.
Okay. So that must be this awkward shape, because everything else I know.
That's right. That's a parallelogram.
I got it.
So the idea is to use those 7 shapes and you get a pattern similar to these, okay?
Okay. I know this is an arrow.
That's an arrow.
This is a house.
That's a house.
This looks like a fish, and this is a tree.
Right, and there are tons and tons of different patterns. I mean, you can go online and you can find, there's books that have all different types of tangram patterns that you can do.
Tangram patterns.
But tangrams are phenomenal. I'm going to say, I'm going to admit this, I love them. I've done them with my kids. I've done them in my work with kids because, you know, first of all, they're puzzles. They are great for problem solving, right? We do lots of problem solving.
We need to do tangrams with some adults.
We do, yes. I have
these problem solving things.
Well, and you know what? It really works on persistence, right?
Okay.
You have to really work at this. So that's actually what we're going to do today.
Okay. So what it looks like is that there's a bunch of shapes in different colors, basically based upon those 7 different shapes that you discussed in the ancient Chinese secret.
That's right.
And it looks like there's a magnet strip that's actually here. And you just cut off a piece of this magnet strip, stick in the back. And so this is really what the cookie tray is for, not for chocolate chip cookies.
Right. And these are, you know, different tangram squares that are downloadable. I just downloaded off the internet. There's free templates on the internet. You can draw them. People have drawn them because it's a pretty standard shape. A tangram is a tangram. It doesn't change. So if you see one in a book or you see one online and it's a free, you can download it and you're good.
I'm all about free, Kim.
I am too.
I am too. So how can we make this fish?
Okay, so what we're going to do, first of all, is I would like to show how we do it. Just put this on here and then this will wind up being, not this one, we'll use the orange one. Magnet, so then they're not going to move, right?
Oh, that's awesome.
And what we're going to do today is we're going to make this similar to what I've done with some of my kids at the high school that I work with. So I work with some kids who are on the autism spectrum in a social group, okay? And this is a great activity for young adults to do because, first of all, this is a universal kind of thing. It's not babyfied. It's not, it's something that for teenagers that they will find interesting. I had introduced this to my group, and at first, you know, it was like, what are you doing? You know, this is something different. It's something new. But then they really, really got into it.
And you can do this with verbal or nonverbal kids, right? Or not kids, but teens.
Teens, yes. And here's the thing, because it builds on their strengths, right? Because what's one thing we know about our kids on the autism spectrum?
They're visual kids.
Visual learners,
Definitely
right?
Visual.
They're also very precise sometimes, and that hyper-focus that we talk about. So this really builds on that and also helps to support them through the problem solving. And I, of course, as a speech pathologist, I'm sneaking in some social skills with that, right?
That's so awesome.
And some language lessons along with it.
That's so awesome.
So what we're going to do is you're going to pick a pattern. Okay.
I think I'm going to go with the fish because
right.
it has that word that I don't know how to pronounce too well.
The parallelogram.
Parallelogram.
Okay, so what we're going to do is you are going to choose the color, which if you would like, you can go with this color or you can choose another.
I'm going to go with this color.
Okay, and what I'm going to do, and by the way, there are cheat sheets. All right, I'm not letting you see.
Okay.
But there are cheat sheets. So if you are the person, which is what we do in our class, if you are the person giving the directions, you have the cheat sheet in front of you.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So I'm going to be the person giving the directions.
Okay, I'm listening.
And if you are like some of my kids, you are going to want me to be extremely precise about what shapes and sizes, because that's the key when you talk about tangrams, is that they're similar shapes, but they're all different sizes and colors. And it is about following directions, following a sequence, and sharing that with the other person. So why don't we go ahead?
Yeah, let's start this.
Okay. So first, you're going to pick the large triangles, the 2 large triangles.
I got the 2 large triangles.
Okay, and put one on top of the other. You can look at the picture to help you.
On top of the other.
Not the cheat sheet, but the picture.
Like this. Okay.
Actually, you need to change that.
I do? One on top of the other, like this?
One where the point goes up and one where the point goes down.
Like this?
Close. You need to turn it.
Like this.
May I help you?
Yes, you may.
Like this. This way. Right? I'm sorry, this way. And then this way, like that.
Oh, okay.
All right?
Yes.
See? Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
Got
and
it.
then what you need to do is, what shape would you like to, you think you might need next?
Let's go with the square.
Okay. Actually, this goes like this, but that's okay. We're going to fix that. All right, put the square in the middle behind the 2 triangles.
Okay, the square in the middle. Okay.
Put one small triangle on top and one small triangle at the bottom of your square.
On top? I need to come to your class.
Yeah.
I don't know how to follow directions.
On top of this, we'll do it like this. On top, one on top.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah,
okay,
you got it.
that's cool.
Now, take your parallelogram and put it on the bottom, behind
The square.
the square, and the triangle goes with the point towards the front. There you go. You did it. You did a fish.
I did
You
it!
did a fish.
I need to do this 100 times. So maybe I don't know how to listen too well.
No. Well, and you could, pretty much surmise what kinds of exchanges you're going to have when you have 2 teenagers working together. When we did it recently, one of the students was saying, well, you're doing that wrong. You're putting it in the wrong spot. And the other one turned around and said, you are being very condescending.
Really?
Yes, they told each other. So it's great for social skills, interaction, working together as a team. A lot of times I'll have them work in teams. And at home, it's fun. Like I said, I'm a little bit of a nerd. I love tangrams. I'll do them with my kids. If it's a rainy weekend and you need something to do, pull them out and you've got that. It's also,
I love this.
Yeah, it's also something they can do on their own without having someone over them all the time, which I hear from parents is tough sometimes, trying to find things where they can entertain themselves that isn't a screen.
Well, let me tell you, thank you so
electric.
much for this awesome tangram demonstration. I know now that the cookie sheets are not for cookies only. Every time I pull this out to bake a cookie, I'm going to think about this. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's all the time we have today on The Spectrum, but if you would like to try this project at home, please log on to www.onthespectrum.tv where you can download resources and you can get your tangram party going on too. Thank you and see you next time on The Spectrum. So the fact of the matter that this is a fish,
Yes.
and actually, so technically, are all these shapes really the same exact size?
They are.
They're just in different colors.
Yes, they're just different colors
I
and
get it.
different patterns. So you can, be really creative if you want to just download a blank